That's
Okay.
right.
Okay. So what we have in ChatGPT 5, what's new is, a lot of cool stuff. You could use it for now designing your website. You could there's less hallucination. Hallucination means like there's less made up facts now. There's a lot of people renting on GPT-5 right now. Like they thought it would be even better, but you know what? I'm not asking for more. I think this is the best it's ever been. So
Many of you will say, hey, I'm not a writer. I'm not great at doing copy, at doing marketing, at doing content. I can see a couple faces in here that I know well who will like raise their hands and be like, not me. I'm not that person. But one of the best things that I can tell you, especially with the new voice mode, is you never have to type again. How many of you are very good conversationally? How many of you get tripped up when you start thinking about grammar, spelling, sentence structure, how this should be? Whereas if I ask you to tell me a story, you can just tell this entire epic tale and it's this great thing. Well, with voice mode, that's what you have to start looking at as that's your hidden key to doing everything that you need because you can say, hey, I need to write a Facebook post, and these are the main themes I'm trying to get across. And here is the story that I want to tell. And then you just tell it. And at the end, you say, can you give me a post that has proper grammar, makes sense, good flow, and conveys what I'm saying in my actual voice? Now, how many of you are awesome on the phones? Ooh, I'm not seeing enough hands. Come on, you're in real estate. If you're not touching the phone, like my God, you're messing up. Now, in terms of, yep, there you go, Kirby.
yeah, the
Kirby
little
is
black
showing,
dot.
yep, there's a little button where there's voice mode. That's also on the desktop version where you can use it as long as you have a microphone set up, where you can literally just talk to it. Now, the other thing that's great about this is the fact that you can role play with it. You can script practice with it. You can do all of these different things and ask for evaluation. Was I convincing? Did the order that I conveyed information make sense to logically get the person to want to do what I asked? And you can get graded on it. Now, yes, there's lots of CRMs, there's lots of different programs that will potentially call grade you and do all that kind of stuff, but that's only based on situations that you happen to be in. This is where you can now practice for situations that you want to be in. Now, how many of you want to have a $5.5 million listing, a $4 million listing, a $1.2 million listing? Have like $11 million in listings with 5 or 6 listings. Anybody want that?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I have that. Why? One, because I'm moderately somewhat okay at talking to people. And two, because these are the type of things that I do is I practice not just for common situations, but the situations that I want to be in. And the amazing thing is guys, you all have to give yourself more credit than you absolutely do. Because if you actually looked at some of the ways that you communicated information to people and how good it is when you're actually speaking compared to potentially when you're writing, you guys are better than you think. So use this to show that. Use this to not stress about it. Use this aspect to be able to better communicate exactly what you want the GPT to do. Because you can talk to it for like 3 minutes, going into full detail of exactly what you want, and it will make sense of it compared to sometimes you're trying to like, I know a couple of you people there, you're still hunting and pecking with two fingers on typing. You're on to try and get out a thought. So that is where the big push is on that aspect.
So I'll add on to that because ChatGPT 5 adds onto the voice, which is the custom GPT now gets voice. Okay, so that doesn't sound like much, but imagine this. If you made a custom GPT of yourself, I see some team leaders here, okay? Imagine you load in all your stuff that for yourself. You can give that custom GPT to your agents. So instead of asking you, they can ask your virtual avatar on ChatGPT because you uploaded everything onto your own avatar there, so which is a custom GPT. You could do that with your buyers and sellers, right? And they could actually talk to you, virtual you in the custom GPTs, okay?
Have you
You can
tried doing
also,
that, or do you know anybody that has yet?
yeah, you could do that. You could do that right away.
That's
Yeah.
within ChatGPT?
Yeah, so right now, for example, I've always had a custom GPT for my team, right? My team forward one here. Well, it's a team forward.
Kirby, yeah, just share it on your screen. They'll
I'll
be able
share
to
my
see.
screen, right? So you could use that right now, right here. You
Look
go,
at GPT is the first one, forward mentor.
you do a forward mentor, right? This team forward is this for the team. So I do a lot of landmark coaching, and you can see there's landmark stuff here. Okay. Um, they could say like, "Oh, I'm stuck right now, right? I am afraid to go to the first door at door knocking." Okay. Can you share a little bit more why you're stuck or fearful? Maybe break it down together and ease that tension. Okay. So,
Actually, Kirby, let's do this. Why don't instead of typing anything in there, why don't you hit and show the voice feature just so that hey, we can show in the lab exactly how good and what we're talking about.
okay, I'm feeling very anxious because I'm scared the first person is going to slam the door at me.
I totally get that feeling. It's a really common fear, especially when you're trying something new. Just remember, every door you knock on is a step closer to your goal, and most people are more understanding than we expect. Plus, the more you do it, the easier it gets. You got this.
Okay, what should I say when I go on my first door?
A simple and friendly introduction usually works great. You could say something like, "Hi, my name is your name, and I'm here to briefly explain your purpose, like introduce myself, share some information, your offer a service, keep it warm and genuine, and you'll be fine."
Okay, thank you. All right.
Now, guys, here's the thing. How many people have maybe a small bit of ego or concern of how they are perceived by their peers, or potentially get nervous when you don't know how to do something or you feel somewhat inadequate because the task is new? Anybody? Couple hands. Now, would it be nice to have something that is going to give you feedback, give you actual advice and actual thoughts and critique where it's just a computer program? It's not out in the real world. It's not going to tell anybody because it is completely private in terms of things like that. Each GPT, even if like you've gotten it from somewhere else, it does not send information back. ChatGPT is not set up that way. Basically, what you're getting is your own little kind of void or bubble or bucket, and the information that goes into it stays in just that part of GPT. It doesn't go back to the creator. If it went back to the creator, oh my God, I would love it because some of the recruiting GPTs. But, anyways, think about it. You can go through and you can not only customize coaching for yourself, but for your entire team, for your downline, for people that you're trying to help and mentor. Because if they're too nervous to talk to you, but they'll use this, they can get some of the same advice, and then they might build the confidence to be able to then talk to you about it as well. Or if it's one of those things where it's 2 a.m. and someone's having, a little anxiety, can't sleep because this is so much on their mind, and for them to sleep, they need a resolution. Hey, it's right at their fingertips. It's right there.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the new, what Joe said, this new thing with ChatGPT 5 is it doesn't always agree with you now. So you're gonna notice this is that before everything you write, doesn't it always say great idea, right? Every time you write something in
Yep.
ChatGPT, what you're gonna see now is when you write something, it might say that's not such a great idea, right? So the other day, I did a thing with Joe. We're creating our new Instagram, and I was kind of torn if I should make a Richmond Hill um, uh, Instagram page that will cater to everybody, or should I just cater to my niche, which is downsizers, right? Seniors. When I ask that question, it says, hey, don't uh, don't go and attack everybody. Don't try to get everybody as followers because that's going to be ineffective for you. Okay. So it'll give you kind of like when it's not a good idea, it'll tell you. And especially if you guys saw on screen just now, when I design my own GPTs, custom GPTs, I always put in um, to, if the user is doing something ineffective, I use the word ineffective because the computer doesn't know or AI doesn't know what's good and bad. You can't say when the user has a bad idea because the AI doesn't know what's bad or good, right? So you have to say ineffective. Ineffective means it doesn't get them to their goals. To always ask them a question until they come with an effective solution and never give the answer. So that's in my coaching. So if some of you guys are team leaders, I put that in for my agents, never give them the answer, always ask more questions until they discover it themselves. So you actually have a coach there. So if anybody follows Tony Robbins, or let's say anybody that you guys follow as coaches, you can take the source material from them, upload it, and instead of hiring $1,000 coach now, you can have a Tony Robbins coach or a Tom Ferry coach inside a custom GPT there, right? So I can upload my Date with Destiny, my UPW, my Business Mastery workbooks inside of the custom GPTs. And actually, the custom GPTs has a Tony Robbins one built in already. If you don't want to do that, they have one already in the store. It's free. And so you can have Tony Robbins as your coach. Okay. So lots of cool things you guys can do with custom GPTs there and with voice.